Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're doing more new stuff. Like I said in the last video of the newness, some of these things I'm late to, like late, and some it just came out. So it's a blend of both. Until I catch up with all the new things, I'm just going to be reviewing either things that were sent to me or things that are coming out that I know I would have gotten out of my way like I did. Well, not out of my way, but I would have bought if it wasn't sent as PR. So we're going to use the eyeshadow palette that I used in the last video. Again, we're just going to use different colors because I'm going to get the best use out of this palette. And then maybe I'll use different colors again in another video so we can really test it out. But I will say I do like the palette. It was just the mishap I had with that cool tone one. So in today's video, I'm just gonna get started. We're gonna do because y'all know I like to talk. So just priming my eyes. I have really oily lids. I always feel like in every video there's always a new person that would be discovering me for the first time. So a lot of things I say might seem repetitive, but people are new, you know? I always see it in my analytics, like I get new viewers that haven't watched my videos before, and then returning subscribers, which shout out to y'all. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Bisola. I am a pro makeup artist, and on this channel we focus on prestige. I really need to stop having this mirror so close to me because then everything else goes out of focus and that in focus. But anyway, we focus on prestige and luxury makeup on this channel. So now that my primer is on, let me just blend out the edges here. There we go. So going back in with the Idol Cafe Crush. Also yesterday, y'all would have seen it. Was it yesterday? But in the previous video, I also used the Idol mascara. I love the Idol line. We're gonna use the Idol palette again today. I'm just gonna use different colors. I think I want something gold. But this is more, we'll see. Maybe not gold. Maybe not that. But I'm really excited of a couple of the new things that I'm trying today. Today's also going to be another wear test. I just like doing wear tests because I feel like you get to understand if you're really going to like this product. And then I like doing it in, wearing it in different ways with different products that I love. So then I really know if I like it or not. So I'm not using the brown from the palette. I'm just using one of my face powders because it has the warmth that I need as far as brown goes. It's just the one brown that's in here. I find it too cool tone for how I like to wear my eyeshadow, unless I'm specifically going for that look. But this color is going to give me exactly what I need. And when I need to soften it up, I'm going to go in with an eyeshadow from the palette, as you will see in a second. I like to teach as I go for my new people. So no matter what I'm talking about, if it's a new product, I'm always trying to inform you, educate, as I go when I do my makeup. Okay, so I think I kind of want to use this pink one. I'm excited. Oh yeah. This is pretty. And like we talked about in the previous video when I used this palette, I think it blends so nice. It's not giving me any issues. It's not skipping. It's not patchy. It's just blending really nicely. So I'm here for that. So because I have hooded lids, you see, I take it past my actual lid because when I open my eyes, I want you to still be able to see color. So I love to take it up here, and don't worry, we're gonna blend that out, but I don't leave the shadow just right here on the lid. I take it up more, so when I add more color here and blend it, it's still seamless, but you're still able to see the color when I have my eyes open. And then still using the same brush, I'm just gonna flip it over. I am spraying it. You could use a facial spray, you could use a setting spray, you could use whatever spray you want. But oh, that has a lot of fallout. Yeah, and they blend so nicely with each other. That's really good. I'm really, really liking this palette a lot. I can guarantee you, if you always take your time to blend your eyeshadows, it will always look good. Because you can see the difference between this eye that's nice and blended, and I could still see all three colors, compared to this, where it just looks a little sloppy and a little patchy. You see it? You can see where I stopped here. So, just wanted to let y'all know that. Take your time to blend your stuff. And if you ever feel like you took away some of your shadow, you could always go back in it lightly and just give it a nice stamp with product. Because I feel like I took some away from this. I think I want to add a little more depth. I just really, really, really like this eye look compared to yesterday. Compared to what I was going through yesterday. So I'm just going to speed through eyeliner and mascara. Okay. So my mask, I just made a little boo-boo here on my mascara or my eyeliner with my mascara. I'm going to let that completely dry before I clean it up, flake it up, all that stuff, because it was fine and now it's not. We're getting into it right away. We have new foundation. Oh, we have a new foundation that we're going to test out today. And I am excited. It is the Charlotte Tilbury. Let me make sure I read this properly, chat, while I'm applying my primer. It is the new reformulated Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I think this is supposed to be waterproof now. It has a lot of claims, okay? It is powder blur technology, second skin-like, biomimetic pigments, and phyto youth essence. Flawless looking skin and pores appear reduced, transfer proof, sweat proof, humidity proof. This should have came out in the spring if we're gonna have all these claims so people could have worn it during the summer, not when it's about to start getting cooler outside. Hello? Skin feels smoother and more hydrated, wrinkles appear reduced, and skin looks more even, improves the look of skin while you wear it. Okay, so we're gonna put that on, and I am using my blurring balm from Danessa, as you guys hear me say, and it's been my non-stop primer. I'll dabble in my other primers here and there, but honestly, what I need to do is finish all my primers and only use this because it just never fails me. We also have the new Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray Matte Blur. So it's supposed to mattify, smooth, and set all day. Shake to activate. So if you get this, you shake it to activate. And the bottle does look different compared to, I don't know what I did with my one. I think it's in my room. But I like this. So when you go to the store, you can always tell the difference because it looks like so. I like this, her iconic maroon, burgundy, whatever color this is. So let's read the claims. It says it's gonna blur, mattify, smooth, and set for flawless, poreless looking makeup that stays all day. Powder blur technology plus dual action oil control complex. Primes and sets for up to 16 hours. Oil and shine control. Waterproof. That's why I said they should have came out with these lines, both of these, in like the spring, so people could have tested it when it's hotter outside. Do you get me? Okay. No melting, no fading, no creasing. Microfine weightless veil. And this is one of those. Like I said, you have to shake to activate. This is also going to be a wear test, like I mentioned earlier. So we're going to see if the claims are true, child. We're going to see. I'm going to do check-ins. Hopefully I remember to do video check-ins this time. Sometimes time and when I'm working and stuff, it does not allow me. This is okay. Because I swatched it in store and then I waited till it dried down. So if I swatch this on my face and it looks lighter, I promise it's my color. Because the other one, I was like, oh, this is my color. And when I put it on, and it dried down, it was darker. So I promise, if this looks crazy while I put it on right now, I feel like it is. Are you ready? Also, let me not even lie. Why did I do that? I have my serum mixed in with this, so that's the gold glaze you're seeing there. I just do feel like just listen to everything I just said before applying this. And if this does make me look crazy, child, the way I will return this so fast, but it dried down darker. I just feel like 16 neutral was my color. Guys, we'll see. I have hyperpigmentation on my neck, so I generally always drag my foundation down. Contour, bronzer, and all that will fix this color if it doesn't do what I need it to do. And if it doesn't, there's no one else to blame but myself. But I swear to y'all, when I initially was like, oh, 16 neutral is going to be my shade. And it dried down darker. Like, much darker than my face. So now I'm nervous. And I'm not gonna lie, I usually always prefer, I'm finding that maybe it's because of the primer. This is giving me a little stiffer to blend. I mean, if you blend like this, it'll be fine, but I find that this is a little, I always buff in. I can tell you right now, I prefer a darker foundation. I should have gotten it darker. Damn it. Because you could even see how my natural color is peeking through. I look like a zombie. But this foundation definitely does match my chest. It does cover my birthmark though. So compared to the last foundation that I tried, which was the Tom Ford Radiance, Architecture Radiance, I feel like this has fuller coverage than that. Because, yeah, definitely covers my birthmark. So let's just conceal, because So I'm going to blend the concealer, and we're going to see how the concealer takes with this foundation. Okay. As you can see, the concealer blend, it didn't pick up anything from my skin. It looks really good. It didn't lift the foundation. It just blended well with it. So I'm just going to blend everything, powder, all that stuff, and we move on to the next new thing. You could definitely see where the foundation is and my contour is. Because even with my darker foundation, I still see this contour. So I'm just trying to figure out, is it because I know this is lighter than I'm usually? I always go darker with my foundation. Even if it's darker than my face, I prefer that. But let's marry everything with my foundation brush so it can be seamless. You still see it. But even with that, it didn't pick up anything. It does dry down on its own. I can tell that in a good way. I feel like for an oily girl like me, I would really enjoy this. I'm gonna give it another go, depending on what this looks like outside. Now, if I look crazy outside in natural lighting, in sunlight, I'm just switch it because I already like the way it wears, like the way it applied on my face. And with me adding the concealer and my contour, I can see that nothing disrupted it. So I like the formula. I would just probably go a shade darker. Because I don't know, I'm not, I don't know. Because I just feel like I don't really see too much of a contrast when I use my shade and illuminate. Like, I know when I apply it, I know it's there, but I just feel like maybe my mind is playing tricks on me. Maybe that's what it is. Let me set my under eye. Actually, I think the formula, you know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. I'm just shaking the setting spray. I'm gonna do a couple of sprays. I'm going to blend this up. And I'm going to spray my face. And then we're gonna go in with the blush because it is I've swatched this, I've played with these. They're more like souffle. That's what it feels like. And I just feel like if I powder, it might disrupt. So I'm just gonna spray. I'm gonna spray first to make sure nothing else moves. Okay. Okay, so these are the new Dior Forever Flush Soft Filter. I had a brain fart. I picked up Hibiscus and Oud. And I'm going to mix both of them together because I don't want one cheek looking like something and the other one looking like something else. But I'm going to swatch it for you before I apply so you see. This is his Hibiscus. Why was I going to have a tongue tie? That's Hibiscus. And this is Oud. I would say if you're like, what is going on with this formula? Why does it feel like this? This is not a blush I would apply directly to my face. So this is Hibiscus, this is Oud. It's perfect for my skin tone and for fall. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it on my palette and I'm going to mix both. And I'm going to use a brush to pick it up. I'm not going to just apply it directly. I feel like if I haven't seen anyone's video on it yet, because when I want to do like my own first impression or a review or whatever, I like to form my own thoughts. And then after, I want to see, oh, what do other people think about this? So I'm going to use a little bit of a dense brush to just mix it together. So this is basically what I'm doing on my palette, because I've mixed it on here. And I'm just going to apply. It does look blurring like a filter. I've only swatched them on my hand. I have not, wow. I had not put it on my face, but this looks so blurring. Now I'm wondering if it's the setting spray. If you're new to this channel, just so you know, I am a blush whore. I love blush. I love blush. Still, you guys can see it's not moving or lifting any of the things I've already put down. I do think I used a lot though, but it's okay because I'm gonna go in with my powder to diffuse everything. But wow, is this supposed to look like a blur? Soft filter. It does look like a soft filter. It looks like a blur, y'all. It looks like a blur. I'm just gonna pick up Colé powder to use as my under eye powder today. And as pigmented as that blush is, me putting this powder on top is not going to remove anything. It's actually going to diffuse it the way I need to. And then I'll go back in with the brush I used to apply to go over it again. I'm loving my makeup so far. I really am. I really, really am. I really am. And then I'm just gonna use my Kosas powder. I'm not gonna lie, I think with the foundation and the setting spray, it almost feels like I didn't need to powder, but I'm gonna always powder. I'm going to always powder. I'm gonna always what? I'm always gonna powder. I don't even I washed my powder brush last night and I don't know what I did with it. Let's just use a smaller powder brush. You know what I love? I love that I can still, after all of this that I just did, I can still see the blush peeking through. And I actually love that I mixed both of the colors together. I won't always mix them together, but because I wanted to show both colors today, and I wanted to wear both, I just decided to mix them together, but most likely I will always wear them individually. And then with nothing else back on the brush, I didn't add any more blush. It's just the pigment that's still left on the blush brush. I'm just going back in. And then to add the intensity back. To our cheeks. I really like this. I like it a lot. And then I'm just going to use a tiny bit of a brighter powder. Okay, going back in with my trusty Micro Smooth Sephora Collection powder. I'm just going to I really love this. I don't know. My makeup is eating today, y'all. It's eating today. I just really like this a lot. I like this a lot. I like it a lot. Going back in with this new Charlotte. Well, you know what? It's the Charlotte train today. You could always do this if you feel like you need something subtle in the way you're lip lining, but I like to emphasize because I have a prominent lip line, especially on my top lip. I like to emphasize that. So you see the difference once I do it from this side to this side. See? Like I didn't overline it. It's just on top of it. Overlining will be then. And I'm not doing that because I don't want a mustache looking lip line. Because here is just showing, like if you want to underline, that would be doing this. See the difference? But if you want to just line your lip as is, just match it. You see where this mark is here? That would be if I wanted to overline, and we're not doing that, so. And I rarely, unless I'm doing a very exaggerated look, I rarely overline. Especially because I have prominent lips, I don't need to overline. Now, sometimes I do for my bottom lip, like if I wanted to overline, I'll do it here. And then see how it's a little different, and then I'll do it here again. Y'all, when you're putting lipstick on or whatever, get your corners. This is just me I'm getting older, and that's just sagging there. That's all that is. But you can see this foundation there. So I'm going to use the same lip color because I loved it so much. And it kind of matches the vibe we're going for in this, with this eye look anyway. And this is the Rare Beauty Spark Positive Light Lip Gloss. I think that's what it's called. Unlike me, if you want it to be precise and you want to clean this up, you can with concealer and or foundation. I can show you what that looks like if I decided to do that. I just don't like adding too much product here because then it'll crease really bad. But if you wanted to, you could. Just a little bit. But because this is not a product issue separating. It's just my skin. And I don't ever let stuff like this bother me. It's just what my skin does. I have pores. I don't want to fix any pores. It's just my skin. I have texture. It's just my skin. And I like it as is. So now let's just fluff off. Let's get this together so I can give you my final thoughts before we start checking in. Okay, so I'm going to do one last spray. Actually, I like a little dew and then a matte spray. Does that make sense to y'all? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Okay, I added a little oomph to my eyeliner, and this is the final look until we start checking in. You already know I'm going to give you daylight, sunlight, natural light pictures outside. I'm going to remember today. The time is now 11:35 a.m. And I'm going to go by my day. I have a long day every day. Okay, I work. But I really like this. This look for me personally, this look to me is a 10 out of 10. As far as all the other new stuff that we added, the new stuff that we used in the previous video, adding it to this look, I just really like it. Like, I really love the eye look and I love the blushes. So far, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, everything. Now, how it wears is a different story. If it wears great, even better. I'm going to see what this looks like outside, and the foundation shade it's questionable. We're going to say that. But like I said, it's because I do wear my foundations. I prefer it to be either a shade darker or the exact match. I feel like this is an exact match to the rest of my body. And maybe because I'm not used to that. Like I said, I go for a darker. What? I picked up foundation here. Do you see it? From when it was too wet. I didn't even notice that. Let's go back in. Let's go back in. Is it still there? Is that even what I'm seeing? Am I bugging out? Y'all see that, right? I think it was when I used I feel like I see it. Maybe it's my mind playing tricks on me, but please tell me you see this. Leave it in the comments. Tell me you see it. Anyway, I'll be able to tell better once I take a picture. It wasn't this. It was the spray I used before this. So far, when I really like this. Because it felt like I already added powder when this dried down in my initial first spray. So that's very interesting. Very interesting. I will say almost everything I use today were on the matte side. Maybe that's why I love my makeup extra good today. But yeah, if anything changes, if there's something I remember that I didn't say throughout the video, I'll text. It would be a text on screen. But yeah, I think I'm at a good place. I really love my makeup. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. I know I already said it, but I really like. Hello? Are you feeling me the way I'm feeling myself? But anyway, you see me in the check-ins. Okay, so end of day. Time is now 10:09. Can you see that? First of all, I'm just gonna let y'all see. It is 10:09. Okay. This is what my face is looking like. Let me move closer. Eyeshadow wore well, just like it did in the last video. Same thing with the lip liner I mentioned in the last video. I didn't reapply, but I reapplied gloss because it was gloss. What else? I have creasing here. Let me see if I'm like, yeah, I got a little oily around. Actually, I'm oily, but I'm not oily in a way where I feel like I'm oilier today than I was with the Tom Ford Radiance. Let me know if you've seen that video and if you see a difference, but I feel like I'm definitely shinier. But like I always say, stuff like this doesn't bother me. If I was like producing a lot of oil, because to me, in person, I don't know if it's maybe because of all the lights, because I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't look that bad. It just looks like what my normal skin would look like if I didn't have makeup on, if nothing was matte. So I don't mind that, but I always mention this. I have blotting powders to take with me. And if I don't use a blotting powder, I will use my flat beauty blender that's meant to just mattify and take away any shine. But with the sponge I used earlier, like I did in my last video, I'm going to just use that and go over the side of my face, because you want to see what that's going to be like if you decide to touch up. Let's say you're going somewhere after work and you just want to revive and zhuzh up your makeup. We'll see what this will do. And I think this would be more matte as well if you add more powder. You could also make it look alive if you have a mini setting spray. But I'll let you see from one side. You can definitely see that this has reduced shine, but my blush is still on. And that says a lot, because the way I put blush on, I always do powder, cream, powder. Today, I only use the Dior blush. Yes, I did mix the colors, but you know, that is saying a lot. Generally, my blushes don't budge, but because I always, like I said, use powder, cream, powder, usually always in the same color family, color story of the blush. So throughout the day, up until just now, I didn't touch up my face. I did take picture. You guys would have probably seen it already. As soon as I got outside, I didn't check in because there was nothing happening. I would say right here, I have a little, I don't remember if I had that in my last video, but just right there was a little bit of creasing. I rarely ever get that. This I've been getting a lot lately, just because like I don't get that when I wear glasses because I'm not squinting. So it's like when I'm going like this, when there's a lot of air in this eye, it's just always this eye. I need to figure out my life. I really want to get LASIK, but I don't even think I'll qualify because this eye is so dry. Anyway, it's like when I'm walking fast air, I always have to go like this just to not let it bother me. Anyway, so I think I cannot wait to use this with my other foundations, the way I wear my foundation day to day. I can't wait to test this out with other ones. I like this foundation a lot, but I'm not confident that I like the color. Because at work today, everyone is like, oh, it looks good, it looks good. I'm like, one, I have on this long sleeve. Two, I generally like a foundation that's the color, because you guys can see here the color of my neck. I have like really bad hyperpigmentation on my neck. If you're not new here, you already know that, but this is my chest. So without makeup, my chest, my face, and the rest of my body is essentially one color. But I like a foundation that when I drag it down to my neck, you can't really tell, but not the color of my neck. Because then if I wear foundation the color of my neck, I would look crazy, is what I'm trying to say. Because then I would look like a floating head. Two, but I kind of feel like this is also doing that because look at the contrast from my neck to my face. I just feel like I love a foundation that's darker. And then if I want to make it a bit lighter and add some flush and color back to my face, blush, contour, bronzer, all of that does that, then a foundation for it to be like my exact color on my face. And I felt like when we were putting this foundation on, I have foundations when I swatch them, like my Prada foundation. Oh my God, I'm going to annotate it so you can see. When I put that thing on, it looked like I just put a serum on. You couldn't even tell. That's what I want my foundation to look like. It shouldn't be noticeable in my complexion versus the foundation. So while I really like this, I'm going to exchange it for my shade. So, and I think that's neutral, 16 neutral. This is 15 neutral. So, I mean, because if we compare it to, like, they kind of look at the difference. To be fair, this is darker than my face. But just look at the color difference. And I'm showing this specific kind of bottle because they're the same texture. They're kind of like the same matte texture. So that's what I'm saying. I want something that's going to be my exact color of my face and or a little darker. I could always do a little darker. A little lighter is gonna make me look crazy. And like, you see what I mean? I don't know. I think I'm gonna go darker. I feel more comfortable darker. I don't want to keep postponing it and then I end up not using it. I don't want that. The blush for me, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I feel like Dior has, this year, it's just been hits after hits after hits from the stuff that I've gotten from Dior in their new releases. I'm not really a super like Dior fragrance. There's a couple. I have the body creams and I like them. But to me, Dior has been killing it. So, and it's also safe to say, a lot of people complimented my eyeshadow today. So I was like, oh, it's this new palette. And I do like the palette. I've mentioned that already. I can't wait to try this because I know I liked this. I think I didn't even start getting oily up until maybe the last hour. Every time I looked in the mirror, I'd be like, oh, I still look matte. Or my skin, it just looks like what your natural skin should look like. So everything was a vibe today with my makeup. I really enjoyed it. A lot of people complimented my makeup as well. Like I said, the only thing I reapplied was my gloss, because it's gloss. When you eat and you drink and you do all that, it's gonna come off. But I didn't reapply the lip liner. You can see that the lip liner is not as dark as it was earlier. But look at that little mole or beauty mark that I made earlier. It's still there. But and this is sometimes it's like this at the end of the day if I don't like add a lot of, what do you call it, foundation in that area. And yeah, or even primer, because there's sometimes I just press my primer here for like 3 seconds, but I haven't been doing that lately. But overall, I would say everything we used in this video was a win. Okay, was a win. I loved my makeup today compared to the last video. The last video, I just didn't really vibe with the colors I chose for the eyes and that CL powder. I'm sad about that. We're going to put her to the side until I figure, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to test it in another way and I'll report back to you guys. Okay. I'm trying to see if there was anything else that I used that I feel like I missed, but I think that's it for this video. You'll see me in the next one, and don't forget to check out the rest of these videos.